Listen, semen retention gang, you know what's going on. Listen, bro, it's important that you control your lust early in your 20s as possible. If you're 30 years old, early in your 30s as possible. Better late than never. At the end of the day, once you control your lust, you can learn how to become the man in America. I repeat, before you listen to the passport bros tell you about other countries, I'm just here to tell you, if you go to Colombia and you don't have real estate in Colombia, jokes is on you. They're not going to take you serious. It's going to be the same thing as America. If you don't have real estate, you're not the man. Until you have real estate, listen, do not worry about the woman. Listen, at the end of the day, they're going to tell you women treat you better in Colombia. If you don't practice Spanish, what's the point of going to Colombia? How are you going to survive in Colombia? How are you going to make money? How are you going to steady keep up your income in Colombia, especially if you're not dropping content on this beautiful app called YouTube? I repeat, especially if you're not dropping content on this beautiful app called YouTube. I like this position right here because it's like I'm working the biceps out. I'm doing concentration curls while I'm talking to you guys. At the end of the day, a lot of men believe in a shortcut to life. I'm here to tell you there's no shortcut in life. So stop rushing. The more you rush, you become the tortoise. You become the rabbit. You're not going to beat the tortoise in a race because you're trying to race. The rabbit was trying to race, so that's why he lost the race. If you're in competition, you're going to lose the race. At the end of the day, all you need to do is stay focused. Run up the numbers on YouTube. Forget smashing women. Forget what the red pill coaches are telling you. Dudes in my comments, I think they're bots. They might be squares like video game controllers, like a PlayStation controller. They're squares and they're circles and they're triangles and they're Y's and X's like Xbox. At the end of the day, you got to understand, get the real estate first. At the end of the day, if you run up 20 million in the United States of America, you don't like, hey, America's real estate is too expensive for you, cool. If you want to go to a Spanish-speaking country, don't go there for the women, go there for the real estate. Get the real estate first. Why would you go to NYC for the women instead of the real estate? If you don't like the real estate in New York City, why are you going for a New York City woman? At the end of the day, listen, this is moving backwards. These dudes are moving backwards in life. This is why they keep getting put on alimony and child support. They don't have real estate. You think she gonna put a guy who has a $74 million real estate portfolio on child support and get handled like Birdman, especially if we don't have lust problems? Listen, if you don't have lust problems, you're not going to end up in a bad relationship because you're going to get the woman that actually likes you for you. At the end of the day, she's going to be satisfied with driving inside of your LaFerrari Spider for the rest of her entire life until you guys die. At the end of the day, if it's not going to go like that, listen, I don't want to be a part of it. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep dropping content until I find my Trinity like Neo in the Matrix. I repeat, until I find my Trinity like Neo in the Matrix, I'm going to keep running it up. At the end of the day, listen, delete your lust at all costs. Run away from lust at all costs. All you need to run towards is dropping and creating this content. At the end of the day, 10 years from now, in 2035, dudes are still going to be talking about six figures, while guys who created content 10 years ago, aka in 2025 right now, in 2035, we're going to be the guys that they're hating on. Like they've always been hating on, because we're telling you to create content instead of go out and casual date in 2025. You got to understand how beautiful the real estate is going to look in 2030. It's just going to get more modern and modern. And dudes are talking about women becoming more modern and modern. At the end of the day, focus on the real estate portfolio. The biceps and triceps is for sales. Listen, if we a big stocky, listen, we selling a multi-mansion for multi-million-dollars. Listen, at the end of the day, we walking around with biceps pointing to all the rooms and stuff. At the end of the day, or we could just hire an assistant and not use her for sex. And listen, she'll also be a multi-millionaire. Listen, at the end of the day, you got to listen. You got to learn how to move like a multi-millionaire before you get to the multi-millions. I repeat, you got to move like a multi-millionaire before you become a multi-millionaire. At the end of the day, if they don't have multi-millions, why are you hanging around them? I repeat, if they don't have multi-millions, why are you around them? They're trying to come up. You're going to get stepped on. At the end of the day, listen, be around yourself. At the end of the day, you have to roam the jungle like a lion. I repeat, you must roam the jungle like a lion. If you're not roaming with your family that you created, your wife and your children, at the end of the day, listen, I wouldn't trust it. At the end of the day, keep running up the numbers. Listen, avoid friendships. Listen, that's a waste of time. Your friends don't have a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. Leave them in the dust. At the end of the day, they need to figure it out on their own. Listen, this is the jungle. If they got God, they'll figure it out on their own. At the end of the day, that's not our responsibility. That's not our seed. At the end of the day, focus on yourself. Stop going to the clubs. Stop going to the bars. Stop lusting after women on social media and actually create content. It's not hard to keep creating content. You guys have so much to talk to women about. Oh, I can keep a conversation longer with the woman. Well, keep a conversation with yourself and post it on social media. You'll actually get paid for it in the long term. You're not going to get paid for your conversation with the girl at Starbucks unless you're filling out an application and you get hired. If it's not that, at the end of the day, what are you doing? If you don't have a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio, what are you doing in life? Do you want to go to Colombia and have to live and have to keep renting and renting and renting more Airbnbs? Or do you actually want real estate in Colombia? Do you want the real estate, the $2.5 million villa in Mexico? At the end of the day, you don't have to be an Airbnb warrior. If you can't speak the language in other countries, they're going to view you as an Airbnb warrior. You're a weekend warrior. They're going to take your seed. They're not going to take you serious. You're going to get scopamine, and it's going to be all bad. Then you're going to have to make a video about don't come to this country. No, it's not don't come to that country. It's your lust. That's your problem. At the end of the day, we pulling up in Monaco getting a $10 million crib. At the end of the day, listen, that could be for the end game. Monaco or Brazil is the end game. Why would I pull up to Brazil and I can't speak the language? That's stupid. That's retarded. At the end of the day, if you want to go to Brazil, learn to speak Portuguese. It's not hard. But no, instead of learning Portuguese and trying to go to Brazil and get the Brazilian mansion for $10 million or get the Brazilian island for $20 million, they want to go red pill YouTube 555-555. I need to learn about female nature. Instead of worrying about female nature, you should learn about real estate's nature, the nature of real estate. Why would you be an Airbnb warrior when you can learn about the nature of real estate? Or what the hell Yante, what the hell Burton, what the hell Bron James, what the hell Gervonta Davis, what the hell Birdman? Learn Portuguese if you want the Brazilian mansion, so they can take you serious. They're not going to disrespect you if you come to their country and you speak their language. At the end of the day, if you come to their country and buy real estate, they're going to take you serious. They're not going to call 911. They're not going to call security on you. Security, policia. They're not going to call policia in Mexico if you have real estate. They're not going to profile you if you have real estate. They're not going to profile you if you can speak the language. They're going to trust you. They're going to trust that you're not a weekend warrior. And you're not just trying to come over there and disrespect their women. Listen, passport bros, they're trying to go to different countries and disrespect those women sexually. I repeat, passport bros are going to other countries trying to disrespect women sexually because they can't afford real estate in America. At the end of the day, don't go to Thailand and smash a Thailand woman and get an STD or get herpes or HIV because all the American passport bros are going over there smashing them. At the end of the day, go to Thailand and get real estate. There's mansions in Thailand. There's mansions in Budapest, Hungary.